You don't have to.
Okay.
Black, white with some black kids. Black car in the black crib. Black owned, black ran. Black woman and black man. Bet on black. Bet on black. Bet on black. Bet on black.
Folks, it's birthday week for me. And this week has been going along swimmingly. I have had 2 great shows so far. This will be number 3, I'm sure. Tomorrow's my birthday. I might give you more commentary, but we're not sure yet. And Friday is going to be just as fun. And also the weekend. But today we focus on this day, which is Wednesday, Veterans Day. And shout out to everyone that has served or is thinking about serving. Thank you for all you do, because without y'all, we cannot do what we're about to embark on. And especially this topic is very near and dear to my heart, because being Black, we are used for our representation, but then we don't get represented. And I encourage y'all to sit down with that phrase and really think about it, and then you'll understand. And hopefully you will do what I did on behalf of the Beyond Borders Media Company and invest in Black businesses. So today we have a Black business on. This company is called Black Sands Entertainment. I am with one of the founders, and we're going to discuss his journey on becoming the #1 independent Black comic book. I think it said on your banner, in history, correct?
Yeah, we're the #1 comic publishers in the nation, according to the numbers right now.
Okay, so we're going to replace nation with history for today.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to allow my guests to introduce themselves, and we're going to get into it. And for all you blurs out there that will watch this, please control yourselves.
Yeah, so my name is Manuel Godoy, the CEO of Black Sands Entertainment. I am a veteran myself, so I got me a good meal in earlier.
All right, go ahead, brother. Thank you for all you've done.
Yeah, and we've been doing quite a couple of things. We have a comic book series out there called Black Sands: The Seven Kingdoms. It's kind of like a comic manga hybrid, right? I never particularly liked comics too much, big anime fan, so I decided to make something in between, And it's had massive success over the years. We also have stories like The First Pharaoh, Cosmic Girls, Maury's Family Adventures, and we've signed a whole bunch of people recently. Our success started off on Kickstarter, right? Doing a couple of Kickstarter campaigns, raising some money that way in order to get our books off the ground. But once we started learning how to sell online, our company really took off. And this year has been a year of unprecedented growth, right? And, I can't wait to see what happens in the future.
Folk, y'all know how I say it on this show. You got to shop Black, you got to be Black, and you also got to think Black. And I appreciate this brother for coming on and discussing his Black business. And hopefully whoever listens to it on the audio and the video, they'll take something away from it. But let's begin, because you kind of got me upset. You said you're not a comic books fan.
I'm like, what I like is like the TV stuff, right? So I've never been.
So you like the TV adaptation?
Yeah, I've never been a collector. I've never been somebody who hangs out at the comic book shop, those kind of things, right? But I've always been a fanboy, right? So anything that made it to the screen, I tend to gravitate towards. But I wasn't a diehard, right? And now manga was a different story, right? I'm a huge manga guy, an anime guy. Mostly because it's more serious stories, right? More consequences.
Okay.
I tend to have gravitated toward that a lot over the years.
So you're not a fan of Superman back in the 70s, where he would say those dumb dialogues and then beat up the bad guy, and then it's like
too rugged, like it was intended for a very specific audience, what I mean?
I'm not gonna lie to you, like I even started going back into the old comics back in like the 60s, in the 70s, and just reading their dialogue, you're like, how the hell did y'all get away with this? But now, of course, it's updated now, and they have to put more realism into it. And I think sometimes comics nowadays, they're like they try too hard to try to create a story. At least, like you said, with manga, you're basically letting the art speak for itself, and then as long as you keep it within the subgenre that it's in, you can be successful.
Yeah.
So that's for all y'all's Marvel and DC people, because I don't know what y'all doing, but that's another subject for another day. So we're gonna get into this real quick. So manga, what is the number one manga you have right now? What is your go-to?
Oh no, man! I think Dr. Stone is my joint.
Oh, but, Jesus Christ! Here we go.
I love that crap, man. I just love that science. I don't know why they made science so lit. I like those oddball stuff, man.
Yes.
I also like freaking Shokugeki, right? It's also one of my favorites. Right?
Yo, don't say that again for the people in the back.
Shokugeki, man. So you can have like cooking shows and stuff like that.
I'm still mad they canceled the anime.
Yeah, well, it kind of like they kind of ran out of money. COVID.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know.
COVID hit them.
Sucks, but
the whole got cut in half.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah. So okay, so we got the manga stuff out the way. I'm still team comic, but by the way, for y'all that want to know, and I say that because not to diss manga, but I know how Japan has their history with Black people, and I did a podcast with a anime podcast, and we went through all that. I don't want to revisit it because it might get me mad again. But my favorite superhero is actually a Black superhero, Steel from DC, because yes, he has his suit of armor, and that makes him a superhero, but his mind is what triggered me, because he didn't always have to use the armor to win a battle. He could use his mind, and I always resonated with him. So much so that I have the whole collection on my phone, and I read it probably like every quarter of the year, so I can get inspired when I do my screenwriting. And now I'm venturing into trying to create a comic book as well. So that leads me into the question: how did you guys get started with Black Sands Entertainment?
Yeah, so I originally tried to make Black Sands a video game series, right? But after like developing a working prototype, I realized it was just going to cost too damn much, right? And I was way too early in my career to afford it or galvanize enough troops to afford it. So I abandoned it after making a beta, right? I successfully launched a beta, and I just killed it and went into a comic series instead of the same series, right? And this one was based off of market research. So I figured out what was the trending things at the time, right? What age group I needed to target, what was similar titles, right? And then I molded my story into getting somewhat in that range, right? And people still today, when they read Black Sands, they say that there's nothing like it out there, right? But there are a lot of things out there, specifically the elements that they're used to, right? So it's not too far into them, but the story is very different from what they would normally see from a typical Shonen Jump or whatever.
Cool. Yeah, I think I went through one of those problems as well, because one of my characters that I created, I wanted to do a movie, but you know how Hollywood is. They tell me, oh, it's too expensive to make something like that. So they told me to go look into graphic novels. So I'm trying to do that now. And just so y'all know, like I said before when we started, I did invest in Manuel's company because he's actually starting a WeFunder so he can get more projects off the ground and have people come in and be part of this, which I think in a few years might be a major player on the entertainment scene. That's just how I feel. So like I said, when you have that opportunity to get in on the ground floor of Black business, please do it. So we can see, even if it fails, you should be able to say, you know what, I at least tried. and it'll encourage more people to try. So I'm kind of glad you guys went one way and then realized that, maybe we should start here first and then pull our efforts and then go forward. Because now, how long you guys been in business again?
About 3.5 years. 3.5 years.
3.5 years. Yeah. See, now you're 3.5 years ahead of the game. And like you said, you guys are like the number one independent publisher in the nation right now. Yep. And that's no small feat, especially with, comics are still popular, manga's still popular. So to be independent like that, that's a hell of an accomplishment.
Yeah, and one thing I always look at is how reasonable stuff is too. So one of the things I was looking at was like the top 10 manga publishers in the US, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I look at that list and I say, number 10's at 9.5 million in sales, right? 9.5 million in sales right now, right? Now I ain't never gonna get to the amount of titles they have because they have like freaking 1,200 titles under their name, right? They're selling, but I don't really need that. All I need is the sales number, right? Mm-hmm. So all I gotta reach that, and it's reachable. It's very reachable. It's not even crazy to reach that number off of just book sales. So I'm looking at that, and I'm like, I'm gonna get it. I said my next goal is to get in the top 10 manga publishers in the country, right? I don't care if I'm on the top of it or not. Just get on that list, so right? You can't avoid me.
Cool. Yeah, man. Because that would be a good look too. Because then once you get there and people start talking about it more, you never know who's going to see it.
Yeah, and more importantly, it shows that people always talk about how marketable the Black audience is, right? Exactly. But nobody ever wants to really invest in it, and I'm like, man, it's so easily realistic to get those kind of numbers. Mm-hmm. Yet this is what your industry does, right? This is what you consider a top 10 manga publisher in the nation, right? It's like it's not even that daunting of a number, right. And yet you don't want to invest in Black properties. You know what I'm saying?
That's kind of weird, because like I said at the beginning, everybody wants to use the Black representation, but then they don't want to represent Black, which doesn't make sense. Yeah. If you do both, you're doubling your efforts, and now you can easily double your profits because they project $1.3 trillion in buying power. And you as a Black business, our media company is trying to be a Black business, trying to get up to that level. If we could take 1/1000th of that, that'd be a huge step. So, like I said again, y'all, invest in Black business. Okay, so let's get into the titles. So you can briefly describe for us each title. Don't give nothing away because we want people to go buy this stuff. So just tell us briefly what each title is about.
Well, Black Sands, the Seven Kingdoms is about Asar and his rise to power in ancient Egypt. It's a pretty dope shonen jump with 7 different nations in it. So if you like anything about the ancient Middle East, this is definitely the series for you. A little bit of hero stuff, but not too much.
Mm-hmm. Okay. It ain't like Yu-Gi-Oh, is it?
No, nothing like Yu-Gi-Oh.
Oh, thank you. Because that last season of Yu-Gi-Oh, when they were going back in time, I was like, I don't know what's going on. Let me get out of here real fast. I don't know what they were doing. And I liked how they darkened Yugi's face, but we're not gonna go there today. I'm gonna leave that alone. But okay, so would you like to tell the people, because I got in because I'm a Patreon, and you'll be able to tell them more about that in a little bit. But like I said, we invested $250 in your company because I believe in what you're doing, and like I said, we want to promote Black businesses. So if you can briefly tell everyone about your funding campaign, even though every time I look at you posting, I'm ready for you to say that it's closed because you have no more space. But hopefully when we get this out, people still have time.
And today it's actually gonna go public. So today the rest of WeFunder finally sees it. You know, and I can almost guarantee we're number one trending, number one in investors, number one in almost every category right now because we moved the ball quick.
Yes.
So we're gonna get that.
When I even the Patreon people, when I went in there, I think it was at like 20,000 when I got in there. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, it was like,
and you just opened it, and that was funny. You just opened it. It was like 20,000. Somebody dropped I think somebody dropped 5,000. I was like, man.
Right. By the end of the day, we had like 180,000.
Yeah. I was like, Jesus Christ. I was like, I'm doing something wrong here. But
nah, man. I always tell people this though. This took years of pissing people off and getting them fired up, right? To get them to be ready for every single move. I've watched people for years, and one thing I always tell everybody who's looking to go into crowdfunding is that if you can't do 10 times what you did last time, right, then you're standing still, right? Everybody's like, I got these guys who've done amazing work and have massive catalogs, right? But then they go on Kickstarter and do a $5,000 campaign, right? And they've been doing it for like 6 years. And they might do like 3 or 4 of those a year, right? And might raise 10, 15,000 per campaign, maybe 20,000 per campaign. But I do 20, 30,000 in a week, regular, like just to breathe. You know what I'm saying? It's like when I raise capital, I'm raising a lot of money because
then you got to raise over capital.
Yeah, because you got to grow.
Right.
It's like I'm not raising to sustain. I'm raising to grow.
Don't never raise the principal.
So this is it takes a long time to get people in that mindset. But once you have a core audience that's like that, the only thing that stops them from investing is the fact that the SEC says, nah, bro, you can't put any more money in. People emailed me saying, man, I was about to get that 5,000, but I can't do nothing more but 2,500. They won't let me. I said,
they start flagging it. They'll start flagging it. Like, yo, what y'all doing over there?
Yeah, because the SEC, they regulate everything, and they say if you're not rich, basically they have to control you. Like they're like, hey, I don't want you basically giving away a house down payment when you don't even got a house.
Yeah.
So.
And then it'll look like, I don't know if you ever saw Boiler Room, the movie.
No, I didn't. What's going on?
So one of his investors put up like his kids' college funds on a stock that didn't even exist, and he lost it all. But by the end of the movie, the dude got it back. But that was scary because he kept telling him, this is the move. This is the move.
Yeah, and if you notice me, I always tell people, if you got any hesitation at all, don't invest.
Yeah,
like I'm not begging nobody for nothing. I'm like, it's like if you don't believe it, just don't invest. That's straight. We got a lot of people on deck, so I'm not stressing whether 1 or 2 people. If they don't got it, they don't got it. It's cool. But for me, like there's no reason to try and use all the things that I've seen other people do, because a lot of people, affiliate that stuff with fraud, man. I don't want to be affiliated with that. There's a lot of people out there who raise millions of dollars in the Black community and ain't do nothing. But they kept saying all those things like, we're gonna build Black Wall Street, we're gonna do all this, we're gonna build all these schools and teach. And I'm like, I do not want to be put in that affiliation. I'm gonna be like this. I make great products. If you don't, right? It's like if you get this product in your hand and you think this could be a $100 million company, to invest. But that's about it.
Exactly. That's why like I said, that's how it has to be. You have to have confidence in what you're doing. I'm still mad. I'm still mad at that dude. That I just looked at the campaign again. I'm still mad at that dude that put in $5,000. I want to be on his level.
I think he put in 17,000.
All right. Why did you tell me that?
He was my boy, man. He put in like 9,000 the first in February. So he said he doubled it up this time.
Oh man,
I double it up this year. He said you hit your numbers.
Jesus.
That's crack me up, man.
And when y'all hear the playback and y'all hear that stuff up there, that's people upstairs. I can't wait to get out of this place. But okay, so 3.5 years. So you're saying this is the best year you've had so
Yeah,
far?
by far.
Is that just on the capital side, or is like there
No,
other
on
factors?
everything. So on capital side, so far, if we add everything up, I'm at about 800,000 raised so far.
Cool.
About to close on 1 million by the time the round closes. And I'll be the first one to do that ever. So that'll be an ever situation. First Black-owned comic book company to raise $1 million through fans ever.
Yeah.
Right. So that'll be a good
Keanu Reeves will be jealous.
And then we have our greatest year of sales. So far, we're at like 380,000 in sales this year. And the thing is, we've been out of inventory for like 4 months. We probably could have been like at like 700,000 by now, but I just didn't have any books. So now we're back in stock, and I'm gonna try to get that number in 2 months. Right. So I'm gonna wrap up like a crazy man for the next like 2-3 weeks, and like sustain at like a crazy burn and try to like break every kind of record known to man during the Christmas season.
Okay. So 2021 is going to be the year of Black Sands.
Oh yeah, 2021 is going to be devastating. Like people are going to be scared, and to me, the way I feel about it is, I'm not one of those guys who thinks that everybody needs to work together, right? I've always been a guy who, if there's a great leader, I follow him, right? Mm-hmm. And if I'm the leader at the time, then they follow me. Period. Right? I don't like this whole you share power with people who aren't good enough to do what you do, right? And the exact opposite. I follow people for years, plenty of times, right? And the way I see it right now, because nobody in this space is about their numbers, right? Mm-hmm. They should, allow me to do my job, and they just keep creating the content that they've always created under our umbrella, right? And some people will come through. Some people will make amazing products and actually join our company, right? But a lot of people won't, right? And at the end of the day, I can't do no kumbaya stuff and try to raise everybody up, right?
Right.
Once I do it, I'm gonna be like, yeah, you kind of like, nothing I can do for you. If I crush you, you're crushed. There's nothing I can do about it, right? It's like somebody has to get us out of this hole, because we've been in this hole for 40 freaking years, Not a single show about African history ever. They never made one. And you mean to tell me that was an accident? It ain't nothing about marketability. They made like freaking 15 movies about freaking Indians. There ain't even Indians to show the movies to.
Oh, but here's the thing with the Indians, though. They don't even use real Indians. They might have like two. How Chris Rock said, they might have 2 real Indians and the rest a bunch of Puerto Ricans with feathers in their head.
Yeah, that's how little Indians really exist. And yet, they make 12, 15 movies about them. And then you go into our history and it's like, it's DuckTales, nothing there. Anything ancient, they're going to put a whole bunch of white folks there and say they're the ancients. So
I take it you don't have Gods of Egypt on your DVD. You didn't buy the special edition.
I just got it to go and make fun of it. That's
no. You bought
I gotta
it?
have something I got something to roast. Anytime I say, why do you invest? Huh?
You gave Gerald Butler that money?
No, I ain't give him jack, man. But I'm saying though, I want to galvanize people. So every time I show people Gerald Butler as Seth, I get richer. It's like an automatic reaction. It's like man, a lot. You just fill in the coffers. Whenever somebody asks me about my statements I say online, like, oh, Hollywood didn't turn it down, or they ain't say that about you. Who said it? And I'd be like, look, it's not in my right mind. It says it's never a good look to go and name people by name, but I'm just gonna pull a quote from the director of Gods and Kings, right, on why he cast what's his name as Moses. And he said his quote was very specific. He said I can't hire Muhammad blah 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 from such and such and expect to get millions of dollars in capital from Hollywood executives.
Exactly.
Period. You know what I'm saying? So I hire British people. Period. He said he can't even raise
not even British black folks.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. He can't. He has he said that the money won't come in. He is the director of multi-$100 million movies, and he can't do it unless there's white folks cast as the characters. Period. Period. Yeah. So it don't even come up. That's his words. That's exactly what he said. He said, "Don't even come up. Question doesn't even get asked."
I feel you. Okay, so since we're talking about ancient Egypt, two things. One, I'm not sure if you've been keeping up with the recent dust up about ancient Egypt and a particular movie that might be coming out next year.
Which one,
2 years.
One? Or
yes.
Yeah, I could give a shit who the hell they play as Cleopatra. I really don't.
It is. All right, say no more.
The only reason why I don't care is because, why should Native Americans care about who plays the hillbilly in Alabama?
Say it again.
I'm just saying, why should any ancient Egyptian care about the person that moved in 2,000 years after the pyramids were built? Like, I just don't see why anybody would care. Cleopatra is a Macedonian by her own damn records.
Right. I even read an article by this historian. He said the most I'll give her is a quarter Egyptian. And you know how we black folks like to say that one drop rule that makes her black. I'm like, but you still didn't prove that.
Yeah, and to me, if we're doing that, then Gal Gadot's probably really, really, really accurate. Because she's a Middle Eastern / European person.
Right.
So she probably fits that mold perfectly for a Macedonian.
Yeah. And I just love the tweets. Everybody was like, "Why don't you?" Lupita's right there. I'm like, dude, that's not how that works.
Nefertiti, they said Cleopatra.
Exactly. That's not how that works. That's not how life works.
So I'm not going to argue about Alexander. I'm not going to argue about his cousin Cleopatra.
Right. Exactly. They just gave us 007. Be happy.
Yeah,
that's 007 is a black woman now. So
that's an interesting one.
I don't know who said the joke, but somebody was like, why didn't they just pick Idris Elba? But then they were like, how's he supposed to blend in when he's doing like chase scenes? Like the dudes will always know who he is because he's like 6'4". I was like, I'm skeptical of this, but you know what? I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna give it a chance. But I already know this.
I think it's gonna flop only because 007 really is a very British production. So like the audience is very British. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's
I'm gonna hold. But I'm on your script. I think it's gonna flop, but I don't know. I mean,
if it was in America, like if it was Mission Impossible with a black woman lead, it would do
that. Would work.
It would do numbers.
Yeah,
because the audience is already American. There's a hell of a lot of black people, so you ain't got a problem with that. But British, that's a very small slice of the pie, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, they coming over here anyway to come and get work. We're not going over there.
I don't know if that's a very wise choice.
But then that goes into the other thing, and I'm glad that you're doing what you guys are doing with you're doing is like why media companies just don't create original things anymore. Because everything's like a reboot or a sequel to something. It's like creativity is lost now.
Yeah, they're obsessed with it, and there's nothing we can do about it.
I know.
It's like the only thing we can do about it is make it ourselves.
Yeah. I mean, they're even rebooting Power Rangers. I'm like, why?
No, I don't know. I don't think that's an perma reboot though. I think that's always forever been perma rebooted.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess high level production. I think that's what you mean. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Like they spent a lot of money to reboot it this time.
Yeah, exactly. Like they even talking about they're gonna make a second one. I'm like, okay, great. But you're talking about a whole new cast. I'm like, okay, can you be nice? Let's be nice. Have the Red Ranger be black this time. But we'll see. Like you just said, Hollywood said, nah, you gotta have white faces. Gotta have white face as the lead. But that's their money. You guys are raising capital to create black stories, and again, I'm very happy about that. Mm-hmm. So, I guess I have two more questions. So, you guys, I think it said something you guys were creating an anime for it.
Yeah, so we're developing a show for Black Sands, which we funded through the WeFunder campaigns. Mm-hmm. We also funded one for Cosmic Girls and Maury's Family Adventures, as well as the app the BSP app, which is basically a competitor to Webtoons, but exclusively for Black and Brown creators.
Man, you'll go rock the boat. Because Webtoons they're real popular right now.
Oh yeah, they're real popular, but they're also stuck in their ways. So there's nothing they could do about what they do. You know? Like there's nothing they could do about it. They're set in stone. It's like VH1. Eventually they just had to basically make every other show, messy women or gay people, one or the other. They had no choice, right? It's like they boxed themselves into that corner, and they just eventually had to ride it out and say, this is our audience now. So with Webtoons, it's the exact same thing. It's a dominant female audience, right? Romance, like almost 90% of the stories on there to trend are romances, and they can't change it. They can't change that. So where does that leave us, right?
Mm-hmm.
It leaves us a lot of room to grab up space.
Yeah.
That's what we're gonna do.
Okay, so man, this is crazy. So okay, I guess this question, well, it's like a two-parter. So I saw on the Patreon that you picked up a popular Instagrammer as a brand ambassador.
Yes. Multiple.
And yeah, so let's tell the people that, because I wanna make sure we cover all these avenues. So when people invest, they know where the money's going. I mean, not like you don't want them to see your books, but they know there's prominent people. In this day, people gonna be like, people pocket watch. This.
Yeah. So we have Shanna, aka the Samurai Rider. She's an extremely popular martial artist in the Black communities. She's British. Mm-hmm. She does amazing stuff. She's done a couple of movies and everything else. But more importantly, she trends, right? She trends hard, and she's fun, and people like her. She probably has some of the highest engagement I've ever seen online, right? Mm-hmm. And she's part of our team now. She actually helps with the choreography for the anime, and every now and then she drops shout outs for us just for the hell of it.
Cool.
We also have a couple of TikTokers that are anime meme people. They do a whole bunch of anime stuff, right? And we said, you know what? This is how we're going to take over the world. We're going to hire a bunch of freaking anime meme developers and just be a part of the conversation. You want to know how you beat Naruto? Be mentioned whenever Naruto's mentioned.
Nice. Nice.
Right?
Listen, I just hope when y'all get too big, they don't be like, yo, let's do a Naruto X Black Sands crossover. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Well, for me, I never liked crossovers in the first place, right?
All right, I just want to make sure.
In general,
so you didn't buy Shonen Fight for PS4?
Oh, no. but I can't front though. Marvel vs. Capcom 2. That was.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
That was God mode, man.
Oh my God! What is your team? What is your team?
Well, I used to always rock Mega Man, Shumagorath, and freaking what was homeboy? Guile's best friend. I forgot his name though.
Oh, Nash.
No. Guile. Huh?
Charlie.
Yeah, Charlie. I used to get Charlie, Shumagorath, and Mega Man. The reason why is because I was really fucking abusive with throws. So I would literally walk up to like the cheesiest people who used to always call and assist nonstop, and I would just slam them around their face over and over again, like a point blank range, like 10 times in a row, and kill them from full health bar. And those three characters were the best at grabbing people and like punishing the hell out of people.
All right.
Anybody who was defensive would get annihilated by me.
Cool. All right. So I want you to rate my team. Cable Morgan, and I switch out third. Sometimes it's Ken, sometimes it's Hayato, or sometimes if I'm really in a cheese mode, I'll just use Iron Man. Yeah,
so it seems like a pretty balanced team. It's not cheesy, I mean, people automatically think Cable equals cheese, right?
Oh no, listen, I played enough cheesy Cable players online. All they do is shoot the gun all day.
Yeah, but once you throw Morgan in there, it's like I don't even know how you cheeses Morgan. Like she's a pure skill character. So
you know what I did? I forgot the dude's name, but all he did was do the soul fist, and he just stayed in the air all day.
Now you know who I used to picture to beat pure cheese characters that were amazing at pure cheese was Blackheart. Blackheart.
Oh yes,
he was always my main, and I used to just be in the fucking air, dashing back and forth, throwing ghouls at people.
Yes.
I was like, all right, asshole, you want to throw some stuff at me?
I remember one match I did, and the dude sent me a very hateful message afterwards. I should have kept it because he kept cheesing me. So I said, okay, I'll pick Storm, and I just stay in the air all day. And I just kept throwing lightning bolts. Not lightning bolts. What's the thing? I think it was like ice projectiles. And then he knocked out my 2 characters. So I said, okay, I still have a full Storm, and he had like half on each. So I did a couple hits, and then I just stayed in the air for like the last 30 seconds. Oh, he was mad as hell.
The funniest thing is when people used to get so mad if you caught them with like multiple like ghoul spams at the same time.
Yes.
So like if you caught Blackheart, if somebody tried to jump in the air to counter you and they got caught by like the falling ghouls, they would like be stunned by the ghouls. And even if they broke out with like every button they pressed, they'd still be stunned because technically they were flying through the air. And you get hit by more ghouls, then you kick them on the face with more ghouls. They just get so fucking heated when they're stun locked for like 10 seconds. You know?
Man,
and none of it's considered a combo, so it does full damage. It doesn't lose damage. You know?
I missed that game. I missed that game. Hopefully, you know what? Maybe I'll tweet Sony and say you guys got to re-release this.
I think if they just simply made Marvel vs. Capcom 2 with modern day graphics, that's all they would have had to do. Yeah. No new mechanics, nothing, just straight up.
I mean, I like 3. 3 wasn't bad.
I don't know,
it was for, you know what it was? It was 3 was for like the people that never got to play 2. And they wanted to make it easier because, you know, people can't remember those complicated combos.
Yeah.
But then you watch the videos and they're like doing like 67 hits air combos.
I didn't like 3 the same reason why I don't like Tekken 4. Like once it got past the point where it started becoming a juggle game, I was like, fuck this game. You know, it's like when you had to really hit people on the floor and like actually combo them for real, like punch them in the face multiple times and they stand. Right, I was like, okay, this is good. Actually, using one shots and stuff every now and then because it was beneficial, you know. They said, and now it's literally like
you do a combo and then you just keep kicking them while they're down.
Yeah, 60% HP bar while they're bouncing around like a rag doll from a jab. I mean, if I jab somebody and they fly in the air, this game is stupid. It lost all of its martial arts, right? Yeah. Like at least in Soul Calibur, somebody has to get hit by a massive weapon to get bounced into the air. You know, it's not no tiny hit.
Yeah, I don't get it. Yeah, it's like uppercut you in the air and then you just like, and you can't even break it. Like I could understand if it was like Street Fighter or what's the other one, or Mortal Kombat. You could at least break the combo. You don't even get that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's just whoever uppercut somebody first. And I'm like, this is boring. Who the hell thought this was a good idea?
yeah, exactly. Well, you know, it's Namco, so never mind. I like Namco. No, I don't. Anyway. So Black Sands is about to take over the world.
Yeah, man. Just go to wefunder.com/Black Sands Entertainment if you want to invest in our company. It should be public today. So you can just go to WeFunder and look at the most popular campaign, and we'll be right there.
Yeah, I think you probably have the first 3 spots, but you know,
we'll be right there. So don't worry about it. You'll see all these companies owned by a whole bunch of rich white folks, and we'll be right at top, on top of them. That's how we do it.
I'm surprised nobody flagged your campaign yet.
Oh no, they love me over there, man. WeFunder would probably ignore them. Say, hey, they know what they're doing.
Yeah, they get those traffic. Come on now, they could have easily went to Patreon or Kickstarter. They might put you on the board. You never know.
Well, the thing is, you know, the one thing they care about when they look at our stuff is the numbers. So they look at it and say, "Damn, it's like 80 investors a day. What the hell?" Like it's just the sheer volume of people supporting the company.
All right, let's just say that
so crazy to them. You know?
They might think you're moving weight.
Popularity, right?
Yeah, you got. Hey, listen. I'm really excited for you guys, and I'm really excited that we invested in it.
Yeah, man, you part of the family now. You gonna sink or swim with.
And for y'all, I'm in that contest. He's doing a contest, anti-colonial stories.
Yeah, I gotta review them all. I gotta pick a couple of winners this weekend. So
so
there's gonna be an announcement made on Monday, probably.
Cool. So so hopefully, maybe I don't want to win first place. I just want to be able to say, I at least placed.
Well, I'm gonna give out 3 publishing deals, but I'm going to also give like a shout out to like top 10.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give a shout out just to say, it has potential, right?
Yeah, you just gotta work some stuff.
And I'll probably explain why I felt that it felt short and what can be improved upon it to make it, a banger.
Yeah. And actually, after we get off of this, I actually do have an idea that I was toiling around as a movie, but I think it would be good as like a mini series that I wanted to share with you. I mean, you can take it if you want. I don't care.
Well, everybody's stuff, would serve as a mini series. You just got to break up where the natural breakpoints are, because to me, I make one shots. So a lot of the series I'm making is like 6 issues and it's done.
Yeah, that's about what it is. That's about what it is.
It's like basically a film, and then that's it.
Right. Because my idea was I take that first story and then I branch it off into. Well, when we talk off the air, I'll explain it to you. But yeah, so once again, y'all, this was fun. Sometimes fun. I want to thank Manuel for coming on, and right before he goes and we go, I'm gonna just let him promote himself again, and then we're gonna get out of here.
Yep. So if you're not following me right now, you can follow me on Instagram at Black Sands Entertainment. Same for Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. Although I have lost faith in Instagram and Facebook, they're so greedy, right? And they do so many shadow bans. So
yes,
YouTube and TikTok, best places to follow me. TikTok especially, because TikTok is algorithm crazy right now. So you never know.
So you're telling me, as a content creator, I have to go to TikTok.
TikTok is the hotness right now. I've seen people who have 50,000 followers on Instagram, right? And they've had 50,000 followers. I mean, they've grown to 50,000 followers over 2 years, right? And I'm like, okay, great. And then the same person who just started a TikTok maybe 6 months ago has 1 million followers. Do you understand what I'm saying? Same content.
Yeah, well, our content is kind of raw over here because we do our podcast mainly does topics from a Black perspective. So we do sports, politics, what we've been discussing.
You just got to look at other people and how they've trended and that kind of topic, and then cater your content to that. Everything has to have some kind of either shock value or retention value. So either it shocks them, right, and gets them to like it or share it, or it retains them. So if for some reason they'll watch to the very end of the 15-second video, right? Whatever you're doing. So
so you have a lot of audio clips I should probably put up on TikTok, but we'll see.
Yeah,
I think I got enough apps on my phone.
Yeah, so definitely follow all that, get it done. And invest if you want to invest, or just join the Patreon community. It's pretty lit over there too. And you get like 14 comic books on day 1. So
yeah, I actually have to start reading it. I'm gonna probably start reading it tonight. Doing this editing thing with this and doing the shows and everything, and then doing screenwriting work as well. I mean, I don't get too much free time, but I'll have free time because tomorrow's my birthday, and I'm gonna try not to do any work tomorrow. So I'll read a couple comics, and then
Absolutely. Well, all right, boss. All
right.
I'm glad we talked. Hope your audience likes the conversation we had.
Oh, they will. Once I put it up on the forum, we've been actually where this podcast is, where this episode is going to go. We've actually been getting a lot of traffic lately. So yeah. So I think you'll do good numbers on it.
All right. Well, thanks a lot, man. I appreciate it. And time to go deal with these kids.
Yes, sir. I gotta deal with mine too. So, but just give me like 5 minutes of your time before you go.
Oh, okay.
All right. So, y'all, we're gonna get out of here. Take care. Stay safe. Wear your mask to get your supplies. And always remember, if you Black, invest Black. Put your black dollars to black businesses first. All right, we're out of here.